Are you thinking about going to Disneyland or Disney World but you don't know where to stay? Today I'm going to help you make that decision by explaining all the benefits of staying on a Disney property. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Kara from Wonderful, where we unlock the geek universe and share our insider tips, reviews and collectibles. Today is another episode of our Wonder Plan series, where we help you plan a wonderful, magical Disney vacation. So if you're watching this video, it means you've decided to go to Disney. Yay! And so now you need to start thinking about where are you going to stay. So today I'm going to help you with that by explaining the benefits of staying on property, which means staying at a Disney resort. Now, the number one most important reason to stay at a Disney resort is to get early access to dining and ride reservations. When you're staying at a Disney resort, you get access to book your reservations and things that you cannot miss well ahead of any other guests staying at any other resort or who lives in either LA or Orlando. If you're staying at a Disney resort at Walt Disney World, you can book your fast passes 60 days before you get there. This is a whole month before other guests can even think about booking their fast passes. Similarly, you can book your dining reservations 190 days before you leave, which is a full 10 days before other guests can make their reservations. Now, this might not sound like a big deal if you've never been to Disney World before and you don't know how busy it is, but this is massive, especially with the really popular brand new attractions that book up and all the fast passes and all the reservations are completely gone within hours, sometimes minutes, of those fast passes and those reservations being open. For example, last time we went, it had been, I think, a few months after Pandora had opened at Animal Kingdom, and we were sitting by our computers watching the clock when 190 days came, and it was, I think, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which was probably the middle of the night for us, and sitting by the computer ready to go. And as soon as that clock went ding, jumped on, went to book a fast pass for Flight of Passage. Couldn't get one. Tried again on the next day, and we finally managed to get one, I think on the second last day of our vacation, because we tend to stay for quite a long time. And so that's like within minutes. So if you're not staying at a Disney resort and you're not even being able to book your fast passes until 30 days after that, you're not getting a fast pass and you're waiting in line. And so when we finally got to Animal Kingdom and we went to Pandora and we went on Flight of Passage and the ride was amazing, we came out of the ride, went in the shop, did all of that. As we were exiting Pandora, had a bit of a look at the waiting time for the ride, and it was like 3 hours. And not only that, as we exited Pandora, there were people actually lining up to get into the land and then get onto the ride. So if you don't have a fast pass, you are either not doing those must-do attractions or you're waiting in those lines. So I think that is the most important reason to stay at a Disney resort. Similarly, the dining reservations for the most popular places book out well in advance as well. For example, last time we went, my little girl was obsessed with Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and she really wanted to go to the restaurant where you can meet him. Very similar to what we did with the fast passes, worked out when was the day that they were going to open, jumped on the computer, that was the first thing that I booked, and again, we couldn't get it on those first days that I wanted to go. We did in the end manage to get a reservation, and I think we went twice because it was just so wonderful. But if you have your heart set on a certain character interaction or a certain meal, you need to get those early access reservations. At Disneyland, you unfortunately can't book your fast passes in advance. They have this system where you book your fast pass on the day from inside the park, and that's probably going to change in the next couple of years. So staying on Disney property doesn't give you that extra benefit in terms of that. but it does give you priority access to making the other reservations, so your dining reservations, or if you want to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which we are going to this year, and all those other must-do tours and things like that. And in 2019, staying at a Disney resort in Disneyland will be the only way to get a reservation to get into Galaxy's Edge in that first month that it's open. So that's a massive draw card. That is my number one reason for staying at a Disney resort. Okay, so the second biggest benefit of staying on a Disney resort is getting access to early magic hours. Now, I've mentioned this before. Early magic hours are when you get into the park either an hour earlier or get to stay an hour later at a designated park on a particular day. Now, this is really good because it means that there's less people entering the park or less people in the park, so you can be the first in line on your favorite attraction, or get a few things done before the park really floods, sort of that mid-morning after breakfast kind of time. Now, when you're planning your holiday and you're getting down to the detail of which park on which day, it really helps to have a look at which parks have the extra magic hours. You may choose to go to those parks to get the extra hours, or you may actually choose to not go to those parks in order to avoid the flood of people who may be taking advantage of that. And there's lots of little tricks that you can use for deciding when to go, which we will talk about in another video. But basically, extra magic hours are really good. Okay, so the third major benefit of staying at a Disney resort is that it's just so convenient. They have gone to a lot of effort to make sure that your holiday feels seamless and integrated, and that you're not worrying about everything. Everything is taken care of. One of the main benefits that I like is the free transport. I've mentioned before that we have been, I think, 4 times, and we have never hired a car. And I haven't wanted to hire a car, to be honest, because I don't want to drive on the wrong side of the road. There is so much free transport, and Disney does so much so that you feel just supported and you never feel lost, and you always know where you are and where you're going. And it's really, really good. My favorite piece of it is what's called the Magical Express, which is a special bus that comes and picks you up from the airport and brings you to your resort. And on the face of it, this doesn't actually sound that exciting. I know a lot of hotels provide a shuttle from the airport, and they have this little sort of minivan that comes and picks you up, and you're cramped and there's lots of other people and there's never enough room for your bags, and it sucks. I'm really not a fan of a shuttle bus. But this is not a shuttle bus. This is the Magical Express. Basically, it's like a full-size coach that is all painted on the side with Disney stuff, and you've got a really fun, really kind and happy bus driver, and they just take care of your bags, and then you get on the bus and they play Disney movies. They play this wonderful welcome video that makes me cry every time I see it, because they really want you to feel welcome and want you to feel happy, and you're on this bus with all these people who are also starting their vacation, and it's just a really magical moment, and it's like one of the highlights of my holiday every single time. I would not miss the Magical Express. Beyond the fuzzy feelings, it's also really convenient. I just give them my flight details and they're there to pick me up. I grab my bags, I go down to the Disney desk, it's all sorted. I don't have to freak out that if my plane is delayed, they keep an eye on it. It's really good, and I don't have to pay for an Uber, and I don't have to get a car seat. Pro tip, if you're in a minivan or an Uber or a taxi or other kinds of transport, you might have to bring your own car seat or hire a car seat or any of that crap. But because you're on a coach, you don't need a car seat. So the Magical Express is a definite must-do, and it's so convenient. The next major benefit that they have in terms of convenience at Walt Disney World is the Magic Band. And if you don't know what a Magic Band is, it's basically like a plastic watch thing with one of those RFID chips inside that you can use to pay for things and to open your door and to get on your rides, and it stores all this magical information inside. And some people may not like this, and I totally understand, but if you're on board with this hands-free technology, it is brilliant. You don't have to carry a wallet. You can just walk around going, beep, I want one of them, beep, I want one of them. And it knows where you are. So if you're on a ride, it can, when it takes your picture, it knows that that's your picture and it puts it straight onto your memory maker, which I'll explain later in another video. And sometimes it has special ways that it interacts with you. So it knows your name, and when you're on the ride, sometimes little messages pop up and say, hey, Cara. And it's just really, really cool and really, really convenient. Another convenience factor in terms of staying at a Disney resort is that the Disney resorts are obviously closer. They are located within Walt Disney World or in the strip of Disneyland, and they're within walking distance and usually visual distance to the parks. In terms of Disney World, the deluxe resorts are going to be your closest to the parks. For example, you've got the Polynesian, the Contemporary, and the Grand Floridian that are all on the monorail line that is just around the entrance to the Magic Kingdom. So from all of those resorts, you can actually see the Magic Kingdom and you can see the fireworks at night, and it's really beautiful. Similarly, at Disneyland, the Disney Californian is actually right there in the park and has a special private entrance for guests wanting to go into DCA. So that's another convenience factor in terms of staying at a Disney resort. You don't have to take another shuttle. You can literally wake up, get up and walk, or take a ferry, monorail or a bus straight to the parks. Okay, so I know I talk about transport a lot because it works for me, but I do understand that some people hate public transport and there is not a thing in the world that would get them on a bus. Don't worry, if that's you, Disney still makes your holiday convenient as well. They provide free parking at the parks for Disney guests who are staying at a Disney resort. You do have to pay to park your car at the resort overnight, but you get free parking and access to the sort of convenience factors in terms of parking and getting to the parks from the parking zones. In terms of convenience, Disney does lots and lots of tiny details, a lot of the ones you won't even notice, to help your stay be seamless and easy and convenient. As a shopper, one of my favorite things is they have a package delivery. So if you buy a bunch of stuff in the parks, you don't have to lug it around with you. You just say, I'm staying at the Disney Californian or wherever you're staying, and you probably scan your Magic Band and they just deliver it to your resort so you can pick it up when you get back to your room. And yeah, it's such a simple thing, but so worth it. Okay, so the fourth thing I want to talk about in terms of staying at a Disney resort is immersion. So if you're at a Disney resort, at Disneyland or at Disney World, you never have to leave the magic. You can stay in that magical happy bubble for the entire duration of your vacation. You're not going outside of the park and seeing McDonald's or seeing someone commuting to work or none of that normal everyday life stuff. You are literally inside the magic, and I love it. I totally understand that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you're wanting a proper escape from reality, it's brilliant. Nothing beats staying at a Disney resort. Another great thing about staying at a Disney resort is that the theming and the customer service that you get at the parks is continued into your hotel. The Disney resorts are beautiful. They are well worth a visit, even if you're not staying there. I absolutely love hotel hopping. We always set aside some time in our holiday to explore a new resort, and that's often how we decide where we're going to stay next time. The Disney resorts also have special features to continue the magic literally right down into your room. They can have wake-up calls from Mickey Mouse or special messages from Minnie. I remember when we went one year for my birthday and our wedding anniversary, when we got back to our room, we actually had a voicemail from Mickey and Minnie wishing us a happy anniversary. And it was just so sweet and unexpected and just really magical. And a lot of the time when you get back to your room, mousekeeping will have made a little statue or a little sculpture on your bed of Mickey ears or Donald Duck or something with the face cloths, and it's just so special that your whole vacation is at that level of customer service that Disney is known for. So that immersion is, I think, certainly worth the extra money. Okay, so that was my top 4 major benefits of staying at a Disney resort. There are lots of other little things that come along with it, but I think those are your major ones. Now, if you've started to look into it, you may be starting to think, oh, these Disney resorts are a little bit expensive. And they can be, but hopefully if you have a think about those benefits, it'll start to let you decide if those benefits make a difference for you. I think they do outweigh the extra cost and that it is worth it staying at a Disney resort, but that might not be the right choice for your family. In the next video, we're actually going to dive deeper again and have a look at the different types of resort categories at Disneyland and Disney World and have a look at the different price points. If you're interested, I've also got a video about ways you can save money, so check that out. So that's it. Have I given you something to think about? Let me know in the comments down below which of those benefits is most important to you. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit the like or the subscribe button. But until next time, I'll see you here on Wondervault. See ya!